Welcome back to What Arty Noobs. This is an HWK 12 or Hawk 12. It's a Tier 8 German light tank. It's located on the eastbourne of Malinovka Encounter, and this one is under the command of Picklefish44.
Let's go.
Well, apparently this tank actually started out as an armoured infantry carrier or infantry fighting vehicle, an IFV, and it was sold as an export tank to Mexico, and they fitted a turret and effectively made it into a light tank. It's one of the key tanks that's actually benefited from the recent changes to the last update, and I'm not sure exactly how it's benefited, but certainly everyone's been playing their Hawks because they are surprisingly now very good and very agile game-winning tanks. Now it's armed with a 90mm gun, capable of doing 240 alpha, and will penetrate 180mm of armour, I think that is. Just check that. With the standard AP and with the heat rounds, it will go through 250mm. And he's got HE rounds as well, doing 320 and penetrating 45mm. Okay, got spotted there. Ouch! That's a Rebel Arise with a 105mm round. Unfortunately, 302 hit points down the drain, but I don't think he'll let that worry him at all. Now, most of the action will be going on up the hill, but he did spot a number of tanks while he was in that encounter, and I suspect that he might actually try to get into the ramp if he can, so he can harass the enemy tanks by shooting at them from further down the hill. In fact, now that the Shrek's there, the enemy's going to have to worry about him more than the Hawk, because of course Shreks can do a lot of damage. Top speed for this little thing is only 65 kilometers an hour, but that's quite fast. It's got a very short wheelbase, and it's actually prone to flipping over because of course it's quite high, quite tall for a light tank. It's got decent alpha damage, decent pen. The gun depression is 10 degrees, which is actually also fairly good. And he went straight through the spotting bush there, because of course it's right next door to the cap. And he's found a T-32 near the cap area. Now, what's a heavy tank doing down there? We've probably gone unspotted from him now. And it looks like Picklefish is going to sit in the cap. Oh, he spotted somebody else. It's a Skoda T27 a short distance away. Now, if those guys pop out... Oh, watch out, the Astron Rex is going behind him. Now, he might get spotted. He's not fully in the bush. One side of his vehicle is sitting outside the bush. But he is spotting. He's far enough away from the Astron Rex that the Rex might not see him. And I don't think that T69 is close enough to see him. The biggest worry at the moment is the Skoda T27 seeing him, just in case he comes further south.
Ready to fire.
Now, he's doing a very good job on that T69 because that T69 is below the ridge line while our guys are sitting on Spotting Hill at F7. And if they do cut across, they might be able to get shots in him because they'll know precisely where he is. And he is picking up spotting damage, this time on that Skoda, who's sitting there with his gun up. Almost as if he doesn't care that he's being farmed. Yes, I think there's some shenanigans going on here. Something untoward. Nobody would sit there and take that shot like that. Especially with their gun up. We're already 4 tanks up on the enemy. And I'm wondering now, is that T-32 also partaking in some form of boosting? If so, then there's some cheating going on. And yes, the Scorpions just managed to get a big hit on the T-32, just poked his rear end out. He's now allowing that Scorpion to get hits. In fact, the T-32's totally ignoring Picklefish. Well, he did fire, and now he's following him, but it's a bit late now. Oh! He just pumped one 90mm round in. and got a low roll. And now he's really trolling that T-32, and he's out the game. The Scorpion managed to get another hit in there, which enabled Picklefish to get the kill. Now, if there were any shenanigans going on, I don't think the Scorpion's going to be too pleased that the tank that he was supposed to farm actually ended up going to somebody else. Now, we did see a couple of enemy tanks, a UDES 14-5 and a Spirit Forest, or Forest Spirit, I should say, which is an SU-130PM by other people's names, going into the forest. There's only 2 enemies left now. One of them's the UDES 14-5, the other one's the Charioteer. Now, I think they're just ahead of us. There's the UDES. We can see the Charioteer. Okay, we're going in for the damage on the UDES. We get 1 hit. And can we get another shot? Trying to get the kill. Oh, he does get 1 in, but he doesn't kill the guy. But he might with the next shot if he doesn't die beforehand. Yes, he does. And that is the end of the game. Well, that was a very fast game for Picklefish44 in his Hawk 12. He actually managed to get an ace tanker out of that game, as well as a spotter badge for spotting at least 1,000 hit points of damage, a patrol duty for being the only one spotting 6 enemy tanks whilst they were damaged, and he did get a scout as well for detecting at least 9 enemy vehicles. And that's what we call the Holy Trinity with an ace tanker. Yes, because if you get the spotter, the patrol duty and the scout, you've fulfilled all of your requirements as a light tank in the game and giving your team an easy victory. His win rate from that battle, 2,238, which is very good indeed. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game, but then he wasn't trying to get damage. He was actually trying to spot the enemy, and he did that very successfully indeed. The highest damage actually went to the Charioteer on the enemy team, got 2,801 hit points of damage. Second highest damage was the Centurion 5-1 on our team, got a Confederate and 2,636. And the third highest damage actually went to the VK100-01P, who picked up 2,429 hit points, and he got a steel wall. When it came to Picklefish, he got 994 out of that game. Not a huge amount, but he did do some damage, and of course that helped boost his WN8 at the end of the game. When it came to kills, we can actually see that there was a number of players who all managed to get the same number of kills. That includes the VK100-01P, the Shrek, the Progetto, Picklefish in his Hawk 12, and only one member of the enemy team managed to get more than 1 kill, and that was the T69 on the enemy team. In fact, only 3 players on the enemy team actually managed to get kills at all. So it was that bad a team, or was it? Was there some farming going on? It certainly seems so at one point, especially when we saw that Skoda raise his gun to the sky and not even bother to fire, because he got no damage, no kills, and only 50 XP for turning up. Very suspicious indeed. When it came to base XP, though, we can see that Picklefish picked up the highest in that game, 1,227. The next highest being the Centurion 5-1, who managed to get 1,114, and 1,029 went to the VK100-01P. So only 3 players managed to get over 1,000, and Picklefish was the highest. He fired 6 rounds in the game, got 6 direct hits on the enemy, and 5 penetrations. Damage of 994 hit points, just under 1,000, and all of it was done at close range. He also received 1 hit from the enemy. It was a penetrating shot, unfortunately, but he didn't lose a whole lot of damage. And he spotted 11 enemy vehicles, 2 more than he actually needed to get in order to get the Scout Medal. He damaged 2 enemy vehicles and killed 2 enemy vehicles, and he did 6,113 hit points of spotting assist. He earned 53,046 credits for the battle, and after repair and ammunition, took away 23,928 credits profit, 1,840 XP for the battle, times 2 for the first victory, 3,681 experience points altogether. So congratulations on getting a Holy Trinity. You've done your job exceptionally well and allowed your team to get an easy victory out of that game by allowing them to get lots of damage at long range without actually risking anything. Although I would, if I was a little suspicious, look at that Skoda T27 driver. and also maybe the Scorpion G on our own team, because they seem to be in a farming operation rather than actually playing the game. Just a little odd thing about that. When you ever see a tank raise its gun the way he did, just sat there and let his hit points be taken, it's almost like he wanted to be out of the game. Well, there are much better ways of doing that than that generate credits rather than just sitting there and raising your gun. Very suspicious indeed. Well done to Picklefish. If you enjoyed that game, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.